Hey guys, I'm Jax and this is my spoiler review for Jurassic World Dominion. So, straight off the bat, Dominion. It's not a really catchy, interesting title. I don't really like it. I have three suggestions. Suggestion number one. So at the end of Fallen Kingdom, Jeff Goldblum looks at the camera, he's like, "Welcome to Jurassic World!" Because, you know, now it's a whole Jurassic World situation. They're all living among us and all that stuff. So I think to reference that, you call it, "Welcome to Jurassic World, bitch." And no, I'm not adding bitch as a reference to Jesse from Breaking Bad, but a reference to the OC. In that first episode where he's like, he kicks Ryan and he's like, "Welcome to the OC, bitch." Classic line, so I think that'd be a really nice double reference, and just a great, insane title. Idea number two, just call it Jurassic World 3. This would be a really nice callback to Jurassic Park, because Jurassic Park had Jurassic Park to the Lost World, and then we had Fallen Kingdom. So they're following the same vein, but then Jurassic Park 3 was just like, I don't know, I don't really have a title for this. This is just kind of a schlocky kind of dinosaurs running about. Like, I don't know, just call it Jurassic Park 3. Like, who cares? Let's just get this done. So I think this would have been a really nice time to kind of call back and honor the original trilogy and just call it Jurassic World 3. So my third suggestion would be calling it Jurassic World, the one where it's an actual Jurassic World now. Are you happy? And, you know, on that note, I'm not really happy. I feel like for a Jurassic World movie, the potential, like, they're living amongst us, the dinosaurs are roaming about the whole world, and the potential for that is so exciting. There are so many kind of loose plot threads that are kind of dangled at the end of Fallen Kingdom, where it's like all these arms dealers and mustache twirling villains have all got their hands on a couple of dinosaurs. Then there's just dinosaurs roaming about, just doing whatever. There's such a potential for this globe-trotting world adventure. And I don't know, there's also the potential that you kind of don't skip 4 years ahead, but you skip maybe 40 years ahead and just do it Mad Max meets Jurassic Park. That's kind of what I want to see with a Jurassic World. I want to see Rise of the Planet of the Dinosaurs. But that's not the film we got, so what did I think about the film that we got, Jurassic World Dominion? It's fine. I mean, I had a lot of fun with it, but I just love seeing dinosaurs run about being like, rah, rah, you know, and chasing, and the thrills and the shocks and the awe and the wonder. So I just enjoyed seeing dinosaurs on screen with new footage. I enjoyed seeing all the legacy characters back. It's kind of crazy because, you know, Alan Grant's not in the second one, then Malcolm's not in like the third one. So they haven't all actually been together for, you know, 5 films now. So it's kind of crazy and awesome to see them all back together in a film, like so many films later. They were all only together in that first one, and I was surprised and kind of delighted that this film is almost pretty much 2 separate films. You've got your Jurassic Park cast doing one storyline, then you have your Jurassic World cast doing another storyline, and it's all to do with this new evil company that's not InGen, which just feels kind of weird, but I guess that, I don't know, who cares? It doesn't really matter. But, you know, they're kind of doing their separate little things, so it gave time for all our legacy Jurassic Park characters to interact with each other and have character scenes and beats and, you know, do stuff, and they didn't just kind of pop up and serve the other characters. And then there's the big third act where they're all together, but as well, this film is like, it's Jurassic World, we're in a Jurassic World now, and they still kind of make the end third act just feel like another Jurassic Park film, not a Jurassic World film. And what I mean by that is, like, at the end of Fallen Kingdom, or in the middle of Fallen Kingdom, they don't just burn down like the park and go, "We're never going back to the park." They burn down the island. It's such a bold, huge, powerful kind of move and statement on the franchise to be like, "We're never going back." And then the start of this movie, they're like, "We built a big sanctuary in this big place, and it's essentially a new Jurassic Park. So we've got a big Jurassic Park, there's just going to be no tourists coming in. Just a bunch of nerds and scientists and shit or whatever, you know? Which is fine. And it kind of makes sense, you know, in story, like how and why they would like kind of get to this point, but it just kind of leads to a third act where they're running about, and it's like, it's just the third act to a Jurassic Park / Jurassic World movie where they're on a park and there's trees and there's kind of destroyed debris and there's scientists in science rooms being like, "How do we open the gates and get the gates and do the thingy?" And it's all like, I don't know, I kind of expect it to be bigger and grander and different in a kind of, I don't know, just an interesting way, and it kind of felt a bit like, like the third act's where I kind of was like, I was having a lot of fun, but now I'm kind of retroactively being like, did this work? Was this well conceived and put together as a film? It also seemed kind of hilarious and a bit absurd at times. Like there's one point where they have a classic big T-Rex kind of moment. I think it's the Gigantuan Mamantuan Tesonosaurus or whatever they call it. The Gigasaurus, or I can't remember its name. But it's slightly bigger than the T-Rex, and it's our new villain. But Unlike the other Jurassic World films, and what I actually really enjoyed about them, like, spoilers, I actually quite enjoy them. I really like Fallen Kingdom. I feel like I'm the only person in the world that does, but yeah, I love that movie. I saw it twice this week in hype for this. It's just so kind of bold, and it just takes big swings, and it's like, the second act, it's just gonna be a gothic horror film, and like the dinosaur is like a psychopath, and he's messing with people, and I don't know, there was something really fun and crazy about the idea that we're like, oh, we built a park and now people are kind of bored with dinosaurs, so we made a crazy evil dinosaur, and they make an even crazier one that's a little raptor. And in this one, I don't know, they didn't do anything. There's like no kind of evil scientist kind of character. It's just a bit kind of like, oh, okay, BD Wong's in it, but he's like, I did some bad locust stuff and almost ended the world, so now I'm a good guy. And in theory, I like that idea to make him kind of sympathetic now, because he was kind of a cackling like, ha ha ha, ooh, I created the dinosaurs, I'm an evil villain, mad scientist. But now he's been replaced as the villain with just, I don't know, some guy. I mean, it's not some guy, it's Peter Parker's father. That's where he went. Peter Parker, you don't want to know what happened to your father, the scientist. He turned into the most boring Bond Jurassic World villain. I don't know, he's just very bland, he's just there, and I was just like, he's very bland, he's very boring. I don't know, at first I really liked the idea where he's like, I'm making locusts and there's locusts gonna destroy the world. Also, if you told me that the end of the Jurassic Park franchise, like the plot of the final Jurassic World movie would be scientist gets the genetic thingy and makes prehistoric locusts to destroy like other companies' wheat, so his wheat will be the main wheat, but then it leads to almost the end of the world. And when this started, I got so excited. Like, I actually had goosebumps on my goosebumps. I was sitting up at the front of my chair, like, hollering and hootering, being like, they're gonna do the Jurassic World! Like, this film is going to lead up, and then there'll be like, you know, Jurassic World trilogy is over, and then we'll have like a final Mad Jurassic World movie, a Mad Max Jurassic World movie. They're gonna end the world via genetic prehistoric locusts. That's insane. That's crazy. I can't believe they're gonna do this. And the whole film spends so long on locusts. There are so many sequences with locusts. There's even burning locusts falling from the sky like hellfire raining down from God. But then BD Wong's like, I cured it. I don't know. The clone girl, who I quite like. I like her as a character. But he's like, clone girl, I got a sweet clone powers, and I fixed the bug problem, which I made off screen, and I had my 180 off screen, and I fixed it. There's going to be no Mad Max Jurassic World, Jax. Shut up. How dare you even want a movie that awesome? Well, I'm sorry, BD Wong. I'm sorry, but you kind of ruined the movie, and I felt quite flat at the end. And there's this beautiful montage of, like, you know, elephants in the safari, and brontosauruses or stegosauruses, you know, dinosaurs and stuff. And, you know, there's birds, but also the flying ones and stuff. Pterodactyls, I remember one. And they have all these really beautiful things that has that sense of wonder and awe and beauty and coexistence. But I was just like, no, you set up locusts. Have the locusts kill everyone. I want to see Rise of the Planet of the Dinosaurs. I don't know why they were so insistent on everyone living and having a good fun time. They didn't even kill a legacy character. I was expecting Malcolm to die. Jeff Goldblum was very lucky not to have been killed. I guess they went to, like, they wrote that because you're not going to kill Sam Neill. He's too classic and iconic, the main guy. You're not going to kill Ellie Sattler. So it's Jeff Goldblum. He's the last legacy character. You're going to kill him. At the end of the film, when BD Wong comes, he's like, I'm BD Wong and I'm actually good now. And they're all like, oh, I remember you. I was like, oh, they've accepted him and he's going to save the world. But then a dinosaur's going to eat him and accidentally cause the end of the world because the scientist that was going to save the world, he died. Or I thought it would have been really interesting if they're like, no, screw you, BD Wong. We don't trust you. And, like, all the main characters inadvertently cause the end of the world. I know I'm banging on about the fact that this could be, like, cause the end of the world and then we could get a crazy fourth movie or a start of a new franchise. A whole new 3 films. Mad Max, dinosaurs roam the earth, and, I don't know, just get a whole new cast of characters. Or Chris Pratt can be in it. Like, I don't care. I just want to see that movie, but, like, in this world. I want to know that, like, Hammond did that by making dinosaurs. He accidentally ended the world, and now they roam the earth, and, I don't know, just... Honestly, I wouldn't care so much if the whole plot of this film wasn't just entirely about locusts and maybe they're going to cause the end of the world. So many times in the first 2 acts, they're like, I can't believe these locusts are eating all this wheat. It's going to be the end of the world. They, like, say that and, like, look at the camera, like, at least 3 times. All right, I'm done being Mr. Negative. Let's get up Mr. Positivity on. What did I like? Well, I liked that the second act was just like a Mission Impossible / Jason Bourne / James Bond movie. They're like, we're globetrotting, we're in Malta, we're in some Eastern European looking town, and we're doing an action chase sequence. He's on a motorbike doing a Tom Cruise action scene, but there's raptors running about, there's underground evil stuff going on. We've got some evil, dirty, mustache twirling villains in an underground ring, and instead of having dog fights and chicken cockfights and all that stuff, there's dinosaur fights, and they're selling dinosaurs or whatever, and they've got dinosaurs caged up and stuff, and it's all sus and underground and evil. And I quite liked all of that stuff. That was a bit of fun. I feel like they could have kind of lent into that more. Like, I like seeing the idea that these big, prehistoric, epic, grand, beautiful, amazing animals, but, obviously they're dangerous as well, and so people are trying to use them and utilize them. We've got back the thing where you point a gun, and it's got the sniper, but instead of shooting the bullet, you lock on a thing, and then the dinosaur will chase it forever. I kind of like that they embraced the absurd, ridiculous, stupid nature of that plot device that was in Fallen Kingdom. Probably the worst part of that film. Just nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Just so dumb. But it's just a filmic device to be like, now raptors chase him for no reason continuously, even though they'd probably just stop and attack any other person they pass. And we get a fun kind of, it's fun. It's nothing you've seen before, but it just kind of, it amused me that it was it's just a Jason Bourne action chase sequence, where they're running on top of rooftops and doing parkour, but the raptors also doing parkour and, just chasing about and having a bit of fun. They even have that kind of iconic Jason Bourne moment where he jumps from one little, those little Eastern European balcony kind of thingies to another little balcony thingy across a beautiful cobblestone street. Claire does a huge... Claire's like an action hero in this one, which is fine. They retconned her in the second one and were like, actually, she's changed her... I didn't retcon. I guess they just changed... She changed her mind. But from that businesswoman to the second one where she's an environmentalist, now in this one, she's a rock star mum who's also an action hero. And, I'm saying that like I didn't like it. I really like Bryce Dallas Howard. I think I'm one of the only people that like her and Owen Grady. Owen Brady? Grady? One of those things. I half remembered his name. I still like Chris Pratt in this role as the... raptor wrangler, raptor man, raptor trainer, the raptor guy, the guy who he rides around with raptors, and now he's getting chased by raptors on a motorcycle. What a full circle but a twisted turn of events this is. I still like him, but yeah, she does a big jump from one building, and then the raptor does the big jump from one little balcony to the other little balcony, and that's hilarious. I don't know how this film's going to go on a rewatch. Now I'm talking about it and saying it out loud. I had a lot of fun with it. I really liked the theme of family. And he's like, I've got to find Blue's little baby Blue. And I've got to find my daughter, the clone girl, Maisie. And I really like all of that kind of family theme. There's, a huge prevalent kind of theme throughout all of the Jurassic Park and World movies about family and broken families coming back together. And I like the idea that he had to find these two kids and bring them back. But, I don't know, it didn't really all come together at the end. It just kind of felt like they set up and said a lot of things. And, yeah, I don't know, it's a mixed bag for me because I don't think I can hate a Jurassic Park movie. I love Jurassic Park 3. I just rewatched it today, and I was blown away by how much I enjoyed it. It's just a schlocky, dumb fun. It's just 90 minutes in and out, just dinosaurs causing a ruckus and some really fun action scenes and stuff. And when I think about this film, it feels so grand and epic and big scale, and the Lexi characters are back and the new characters are back and they're doing this big thing, but I'm going through all the action scenes. There's a pterodactyl attacks them when they're flying, and it's not what I'd want from a pterodactyl scene. I'm not asking them to film a Top Gun sequence but with pterodactyls, but maybe they should have tried to do something like that. I don't know, you're in the real world, why couldn't they have jets fighting with pterodactyls and, I don't know, stuff that would be interesting and different. I felt like there was nothing in this film that was really different and surprising and interesting. In Fallen Kingdom, I know everyone bloody hates that movie, but there's a sequence where the Indoraptor is climbing up a gothic castle and the music's all and it's oh my god, this is a crazy horror film now. This is crazy. Whereas this just felt like big, dumb fun. But without the fun. It's a big, rollicking adventure movie, but it doesn't really have that rollicking sense for a lot of it. I don't know. There's horror-esque elements. We've got the creepy fan ones that kill Newman from, Seinfeld. He's in the first movie, and they're all, and they kill the villain. And it's cool to see them, and they're scary. but they're not as scary as the first time we saw them, and I kind of feel like there's a lot of that in this film where it's like, yeah, we've got a big new scary one. He's got big long claws and he stabs. And he's scary-ish, but I don't know, like there's nothing that makes me go like, oh, I cannot wait to rewatch that bit where the thing happens or whatever. It just felt a bit kind of like by the numbers, which is so strange. So we have a few new characters in this movie, and the one that kind of stands out to me, and I don't remember her name, so I guess she didn't stand out that much, but also, I don't know, this is the type of movie where somebody you just don't remember their name. You're like, yeah, she's the pilot. She's the pilot character. And I quite liked her. Like, has a little bit of a redemption where she's like, ooh, I'm a bad person. I pilot criminal stuff in my plane. But now I'm good. I quite enjoyed her. I thought she was a fun addition to the cast. I mean, I don't know. Now I'm thinking about it, I feel like I'm being too harsh. I had a bit of fun with it. But I think by the end, I kind of got to this point where I'm just like, I don't know. Feels a bit empty, a bit hollow. Like, we have these moments where it's like, at the end in the final act, we've got Ellie Sattler and we've got Bryce Dallas Howard's character, Claire. Her name is Claire. And it's like, remember the main female lead from the first one and the Jurassic, Park's the female lead and World's female lead? Put them together. What do? They're both like, do you have nightmares? Yeah, I guess. And she's like, yeah, same. Fantastic. Top tier dialogue. What an amazing pairing. One for the ages. Well done. Oh, maybe it isn't good. I don't know. I'm very mixed on this film. I think I'm more disappointed that I didn't love it. Like, I went to see it alone and I was going to go see it with a friend later and I'm like, I don't want to break it to him. I don't know how to tell him I'm not going to see it again with him because I feel like I'm spoiling that it's bad or it's not what I wanted, Maybe I'll just go to see it again. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I love dinosaurs. I love seeing dinosaurs, but it's like, in all the other movies when there's dinosaurs fighting each other, there's like, this ends with two dinosaurs fighting each other, and it's the Gigantosaurus Momoris, and then we've got T-Rex boy, and G-Saurus T-Rex, let's call him that. And they fight, and it's dark, and it's moody, there's rain and stuff, and there's another one with big, long, slender, stabby claws, and he's all like, ooh, I've got feathers, because I'm, I don't know, Pura or something they said. There's a line of dialogue. Who cares? Don't like them with feathers. I like the reptile look. I know they have feathers or whatever, but they look like big stupid chickens. They're not as scary. Like big stupid chicken. I'm not scared of a big stupid chicken, even if it's stabby. Also, at one point, stabby one kills the hell out of a deer, just like slashes and it goes flying, and then it's like boom, slowly walking up to Claire as she's crawling. Then she slowly walks into the water and it's following her. Then when she's under the water, it's like, where did she go? It's not aware of, like, you can go into that water. Just screams at the water like it's a force field it can't penetrate. I don't know. I didn't like that scene. I liked the imagery. They used that imagery in the promotional with Claire's got the water and it's all slimy and she's like, oh, and there's a dinosaur behind her. It's like, ooh, spooky. Terrible scene. Probably my least favorite scene, actually. I didn't understand. Why didn't he just bite into the water or slash it a bit? He just slashed the deer like crazy. Like a crazy stabby, slashy big chicken. I don't know. I didn't really like him, now I'm thinking about it. But yeah, as I was saying, big final fight. Gisaurus and T-Rex, they're like smashy, and Clory, like fingered Wolverine dinosaur. Yeah, the chicken Wolverine dinosaur. He's all like stabby, and they're all having a big fight. But there's a point where the two big, the T-Rex and other T-Rex are fighting, and I'm like, which one's which? It's too dark. The other one looks too similar. I don't know, like, frame it in a different way. Like, the Indominus Rex when he fights the T-Rex, and there's raptors, like, I never went, like, it's at nighttime and stuff. I don't know if it's raining, but, it's at nighttime. Like, it's how you light nighttime and stuff. And there's that whole scene at the end where they're like, forget about the human characters. Let the dinosaurs fight! Let them fight! As that guy from that other movie, Godzilla, would say. And they're all fighting, and it's just like, it doesn't look as good. Like, I'm just like, it's too dark. I can't tell who's who. Like, you gotta know who's who. Like, it's a classic kind of origin story thing where the superhero's fighting another guy and they've both got the same powers. The T-Rex and the thing, they've got the same T-Rex, they've got the little hands and stuff. But I just can't see who's who, so I'm not even like, I'm kind of uninvested because it's on the same level playing field, but I'm also just like, who's who? Who won? One of them wins. I'm like, did the T-Rex win or did he die? I don't even understand. And it's just like, there are some beautiful stuff, like the locusts falling and they're on fire creates like a wasteland of fire and carnage. And there's some beautiful wide shots with the big long necky ones and some of the horned, shieldy headed ones wandering through like a destroyed, flaming wasteland of horror. And some of that's beautiful. There are some gorgeous cinematography in this. But I just feel like maybe because it's the end. The end is always so hard. It's the same as like a series finale, an epic conclusion, a trilogy ender. Trilogies are always, hard to kind of satisfyingly do. But I would be curious if anyone does find this purely satisfying, like fully and wholly. It just feels like such wasted opportunity, wasted potential. I think that's what it is. The idea of a Jurassic World where we're living amongst us, there are people like poaching and, selling them on the black market and doing this and that. But we never got mustache-twirling Russian guy who got one of the dinosaurs from the other movie. And what is he doing in Russia? Like, there wasn't the globe-trotting sense I wanted to be. Like, at one point they go to Malta and they do a Mission Impossible, but dinosaurs and shit. But it doesn't... I don't know, I feel like I wanted more. Like, I think maybe the biggest issue might just be the start of the film. We get the most boring, uninspired, news report, which is like, I'm a news reporter, and I don't know how I got this job, because I'm uncharismatic and suck. But dinosaurs, oh no, I'm going to explain the plot of the last few movies. There was a mansion, and they escaped, and now they live with us, and sometimes they live in forests, and they like living in the forest, but when they go to the cities, they don't like living in the cities. Oh no, the movie starts. It's like, no. What are you doing? Like, just show scenes. Like, there is footage over her saying that, but don't give me narration. Don't hold my hand like I'm a 6-year-old child. Like, just present a scene. Like, have a gala dinner, and there's all these rich, famous people, and then, just a T-Rex busts through and just kills them all. And it cuts to an evil mustache-twirling villain's mansion. And he's like, I'm using them for nefarious reasons. Don't do that. That was off the top of my head. That's bad. But do you understand what I mean? Like, they had time to write this. Get a writer's room. Just throw, brainstorm. There's no bad ideas in brainstorming. That's my excuse for whatever the hell I just said. But, craft scenes and moments and ideas and just present them. Like, at the end of last movie, there's a great moment where the T-Rex is walking. He's like, rah, and the lion's like, rah. That's great. The big Montosaurus, the whale one, the whale dinosaur, it goes to eat 6 people surfing. Just a montage of that over just the classic original Jurassic Park music, but maybe epic and, I don't know, different and grand, or maybe somber. I don't know. Do a thing with that theme and just show the carnage and the chaos that is a world of Jurassic, Or just have a news reporter be like, so this is what happened in the last film. Did you watch them? Yeah, I watched them! What do you think someone's stepping into this for the first time? It's the 3rd and 6th entry to a franchise. We've seen the other movies! Maybe I didn't like it. I feel like I'm getting kind of angry now. I was going to say I'm not an angry guy. I'm a bit of an angry guy, though. You see me when my football team loses. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Big game this week. Oh, I'm nervous. Guys. So last thing, it is a shame that Sam Neill and Laura Dern, they came back. Jeff Goldblum was in the other one, but I guess he's in this one too. It's a shame they've come back to something that doesn't wholly and fully work. I think I am a little biased as I was watching it, just seeing them on screen. Like, at one point, his hat's on the ground and some dinosaurs are like, oh, I'm gonna eat your hat. And he's like, I gotta get the hat. And she's like, leave the hat! What are you, some kind of Indiana Jones? He's like, I am. I'm Jurassic Park Indiana Jones. And he grabs the hat. And I'm like, remember in Jurassic Park 3, where at the end of the film he didn't have his hat? And then Billy's like, I'm alive, actually! And I saved your hat. And he's like, that's what it's all about, Billy. My goddamn Indiana Jones hat. He puts it back on, and I'm like, cinematic gold. And so I was reminded of the other thing. So maybe I feel like as I watched it, I was reminded of other things. And I was like, how good is it? Jeff Goldbluming about? And he's like, oh, this is a precarious situation. And the car's like, and on the cliff or whatever. But now I've left the cinema. I left the cinema with BD Wong being like, I saved the world. No more Locust Apocalypse. No more Mad Max Jurassic World. And now it's starting to kind of dawn on me, like washing over me like a big tidal wave caused by a big whale dinosaur. And I'm like, it's not a good movie, is it? Or is it? I don't know. It's not, or is it? Oh, no, it's not. But is it? No. I don't think it is, unfortunately. I liked the bit where the feathery bird raptor was like, I'm going to smash underwater. And he's just swimming underwater for a bit. And he smashes out of the water and he's like, I gotcha. But he didn't get them. I don't know why he did that. That water would have been very, very cold. Just horrendously cold. Maybe the feathers stopped him from being cold, but I wouldn't have done that if I was him. And I guess that's the end of my review. Jurassic World Dominion! It's fine, it's bad, it's good. I don't know. Who cares? What did you all think? Thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment below. I would love to know what everyone thought of Jurassic World. It's actually a Jurassic World this time, but not as Jurassic World-y as maybe you would have thought. Dominion. Bitch.